This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in the today's session, try to understand about Agile. One second. So Agile methodology, Agile process is what you know. Basically, Agile means quickly you can say. Okay, so quickly you are designing and developing the software application and delivering it to the client in a shorter intervals. Okay, so application development will be carried out in a shorter intervals like sprint in the form of sprints like that. Okay. So here in Agile, developers and testers will always interact with the client side people. Means every iteration and every while they will be interacting with the client side people. And there will be a product owner here who will be giving the user stories like that. Okay. And these user stories will be given by this product owner, and these user stories will be understood by your testing team and the development team. And if not, we understand they need to have a KT sessions like grooming sessions to understand that user stories. These all will be knowing in the Scrum process. Okay, and application will be development will be planned in a shorter intervals. Means every like 3 to 4 weeks one sprint they will plan. Okay, and then they'll then develop, design, and test and deliver it to the client. So that way it goes like so. It's not like traditional way, like all the requirements they gather once and then they deliver to the customer. Right? Not like that. Here, those requirements only will be in the form of user stories. Right? Those user stories, how many can be accommodated in one sprint? They will plan it, and then they will design and develop and test and give it to them. Like that, sprint one, sprint two, sprint three, they will plan. Okay. Here, okay, in this jail again, daily stand-up meetings will go ahead. Daily, daily stand-up meetings, retrospective meetings. What are these all? We'll try to understand. Okay. So, and we need to understand one more thing is Agile Manifesto and Agile Principles. What are these Agile Manifesto and Agile Principles? So we need to very important. Okay. So one second. So first we'll try to understand what is Agile Manifesto. So just try to understand this. Okay. So one is individual interaction over process and tools. One point is individual interaction over process and tools. Here try to understand very keenly. Generally, like for every development activities, we will follow some process and we develop and test and give it to the client, right? So for that, there will be following some tools and some there will be a process for anything. So we follow that. So in the Agile, we give more importance to the individual and interaction over process and tool, I'm saying. It's not like we don't follow the process, we don't follow any tool and work, but we will follow, but we give more priority to the customer. We'll interact with them, okay, individually, we'll connect with them, we'll understand the requirements, and we'll focus on the working software. That is like what software need to be developed, we'll focus on it, right? That is one thing. Next, working software over comprehensive documents. So rather we more concentrate on the documentation part, we'll give more importance to the application only. Like for example, like you wrote some 1,000 test cases. Okay, 1,000 test cases. First time we are validating, or you have some thousand. Okay, that's your lead. Suppose you need to write those 1,000 test cases. For what? Which one you need to refer? Again, business requirement documents and functional documents you need to refer, and then you need to write some test cases, okay, to validate that functionality. Suppose some more changes has come. Again, you are going to read the entire documentation of business requirements and functional documents to write scenarios and test cases. Okay, you wrote that. For execution also, you go and read the documentation and then you go for execution. So what I mean to say is, in order to understand that functionality, do we need to go every time and read the documents and what is there in the document, then only you go and check in the application, in that way you do? Or instead of going through the documentation, we focus more on the working software? That is what the point here means. Every time I don't follow the documentation. Following documentation is there, whenever it is required we go through that. But what I'm saying, we give more priority to the working software. Instead of going and reading from one to last to, suppose 500 pages of document is there. Again, I don't read that 500 pages. Once I will read, yes, to make understand. But once we understand, again we don't go right. We'll more focus on that application. I mean to say that way. For every, suppose some changes has come, okay, I've applied. So you need to go to the software and check, but not like going to the documentation and read from the beginning. So read that all the 500 pages you read, then you go and check the software. Is that correct? Correct means, yeah, of course we need to, in order to make software, in order to understand all the client requirements, you need to go, but not every time. So we give importance to the same time. If I invest on the working software, then I can find more bugs, right? So that is what. So rather we go and give importance to the documentation. We give more priority to the working software. I'm saying over. I'm not saying not. Not means we're not following documentation. Just we are focusing on the working software. Not like that. So we follow the documentation as well as we focus on the working software, but more importance to the working software. We give much importance to the left hand side than right hand here. So that is what working software over comprehensive documentation. Next, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Suppose let's say the contract negotiation means our client agreement is like 1 year. Okay, we are 1 year. Suppose we are about to end that contract. Maybe customer can extend it, or he may go and drop it. That is secondary. But contract is about to end. Okay, like this is the last month. So contract is about to end. Then are we going to stop that work? Are we going to stop the work? Like, so sorry, sir, we have our contract agreement is over, so we cannot give support to, we cannot give any support, we'll say like that to the customer. Are we going to say that? No, once we are related to the customer, our job is to collaborate with them. Our job is to understand his requirements. Our job is to deliver the process, deliver the product first. That agreement and all, what is there, that agreement and all, we will, our management will take care of it. They will collect it, that contracts, the signature, and whatever it may be, they'll take care of it. But our main focus is to understand the client requirements. We need to collaborate. We will interact with the people. We'll understand. We'll get that as what exactly they want, and we deliver the software to the client. That is our job. But we don't say that our contract is over, so we are not working on that. We are not related to it. So we give more importance to the customers, but not on the contract negotiation. Yes, of course, they need to pay. You have to take it. That is secondary. But we, because of that, we are not going to stop it. So that way I'm telling. Contract negotiation, we give more importance to the customer collaboration, or bond. That bond is more important. If not today, tomorrow we will get the billing part, right? Billing or whatever the whatever contract negotiation. But second part is what, the first priority is what, our application, our final agenda is to deliver a quality application to the customer, right? That is the main thing, right? So that we need to, right? Next, responding to the changes over following plan, means already you prepared some plan. Okay, he gave some requirements, so he said like plan is something like 3 sprints, 3 weeks a sprint. Okay, we process wise we plan like that, but according to the client requirements, whatever the changes they are giving, we are, that 3 weeks are not sufficient for us. We need to go for 4 weeks, let's say. So there is a change in the plan, right? But whatever, so we are not saying that to the customer, hello customer, we are planning our, as per our plan there is only 3 weeks, so we will do it in 3 weeks only, like that we are going to respond to the customer. No, whatever the changes he's asking, we need to respond, and we need to deliver whatever he's asking. So for that, we don't, we follow the plan, but we don't give much priority to that. We give much priority to responding to the changes. Whatever the changes they are asking, we need to implement it. For that, yeah, I may go with some changes in the plan as well sometimes. So exactly this is the plan we already sketched. So we go with that only. We don't say to the client like that. So as per the changes, we whatever the changes he is requesting, we need to adopt it smoothly, quickly, and deliver that software within the timeline, right? That way we should go. So that is what. So these are the 4 agile manifestos that is again further divided into like 12 principles, right? I can say. Okay, that also we'll try to understand. Okay. So what are that? Like as of now, one by one, if you read, I can explain these agile principles, 12 principles. Okay. Before that, what are the agile manifesto points here? Individual interaction over process and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, responding to the change over following plan. We follow the plan, but we give more importance to the changes whatever the customer is asking, like that, right? So these 4 manifestos are further divided into 12 principles. Like what are the 12 principles? I think we are, how many are there? Pages is there. I mean, chemistry, they, parity, all are there, right? So can you read one by one so that you will also have some idea? I will explain once you read. Okay, who is interested to read? First point. Can you raise the hand?
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm reading.
yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software.
Yes, it is again that part of manifesto. Our highest priority is to give the importance to the customer, right? Through early continuous deliverables. Like, so how we are planning, like sprint wise, I am telling, right? 3 weeks, one sprint, or 4 weeks, one sprint, we are planning, and we are delivering that software to the customer. Means within that 3 weeks, what we developed, we are demonstrating to the customer. If customer is saying, okay, we are, yes, is that part, that portion what he asked, it is ready, and then we go for the next portion. Like that, one by one, we are portion wise, we are delivering it to the customer in the form of sprints, right? So that is a continuous delivery means, yes, sprint one, sprint two, sprint three, continuously we are giving delivery every 3 weeks, one delivery. Like, so if you are planning sprint wise means every one sprint 3 weeks. So every 3 weeks, one delivery. Every 3 weeks, one delivery. It happens. So that is like highest priority to satisfy customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Next, who is the next one? Anyone can read.
Welcome.
Second point.
It's Sridevi, sir. Welcome. Changing requirements even late in development. Agile process harness change for the customer competitive advantages.
Right. So generally, if you take a traditional process like waterfall, application development will go step by step, as I told. So first, all the requirements will be gathered, then development design part will start. Then all the design part is ready, then development activity starts, like that. Suppose any changes comes in while developing the application, again they have to come from the beginning. If it is a traditional, whereas in agile process, how it is going? Can you mute me? Okay. So whereas in the agile process, we are any changes, any small changes during that sprint, or where whatever the changes the customer is asking, we will adopt it. Okay, we will welcome it. Whatever the changes they are asking, we are welcoming it, and we are adopting, and we are developing smoothly, and we are delivering it quickly. That we can say, because now we suddenly in this sprint he gave some particular user story, and we developed it. Okay, and that changes again. He's for later in the coming sprint he wants some changes. Okay, no problem. We will take it as a new user story, and as a part of new user story, that functionality will be changed in the coming sprint. Okay, again in the coming sprint also, again after developing and demonstrating to the customer, again in the next sprint, again some changes has come. So we'll take it as part of new user story, and as per the new user story, we design, develop, and test that new functionality, or that whatever the changes we want, we will do it and deliver it to the client. That way we can go. So we welcome the changes. We won't say that, hello, customer, in the last sprint we already developed that. You already told that requirement. We developed, we can't change it. Can we say like that? No, no problem, sir. As per your request, we are ready to change it. Then again, we'll pick it as a new user story, and we'll modify that functionality or whatever the changes is asking. We'll do it and give it to him. That way it goes like. So we don't say that we already developed. So as per the user story we developed, so we can't do any changes. This kind of arguments or this kind of things won't be between your client and the development team, right? So that is what welcoming changes. Any changes you ask, we are ready to do it and deliver it to the client. That way it goes like in their process. Right? Next, who will read?
Yes, sir. Delivery
Yeah.
working software frequently at intervals of between a few weeks to a few months, with a preference to the shorter time scale.
Yes,
Uh,
this is simple. Yeah, this is simple. Like as I told you, sprint. The deliver working software frequently means we are planning every 3 weeks. Let's say 3 weeks, one sprint. Sprint is nothing but what you know. It is a time box. There's a time scale or time box where we have started and ended. During that time, we are designing, developing, and testing particular functionalities and delivering by that time within that span, like shorter interval. Which within 3 weeks only, we are taking the user stories, we are writing the test cases. After development, we are testing that functionalities and we are delivering it to the client. So this all things are happening within 1 year, 2 years. No, within 3 weeks only it is happening. So that is what sprint planning, like delivery of working software frequently at intervals between few weeks to few months. Few weeks means like 3 weeks, 4 weeks means a month. Like a sprint can be between 2 to 4 weeks. Every sprint can be, you can plan between 2 to 4 weeks like that. Okay. So within that shorter interval, we will plan and we will deliver. That means all the functionalities we are not delivering at once. Okay. Some functionalities he told. So within these 3 weeks, how many functionalities can be developed? That is like 10 user stories, 5 user stories. These all stories we will take it and we will consider it for sprint one. By the time the sprint one activities are going on, when it comes to the end, the sprint two activities will be taken from the client. Like what in the coming sprint, what we need to develop. Okay, those all our business analyst team will follow up with the customer meanwhile, and coming sprint user stories they will collect. Meanwhile, what we will do, our development and testing team will concentrate on the sprint one. By the time we finish that sprint one, our sprint two user stories will be ready. Okay, by the time we finish that sprint two user stories, our sprint three user stories will be ready. So we go like that continuously. We know where we stop. Okay, got my point? Next, who is the next person to read? Okay, this I will only read. Wait. Okay, what is that? Business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. Yes, here in this agile process, daily meetings will be there. Daily. So daily you'll interact with the client people. Okay, and also within our team also, offshore team, we will have daily stand-up meetings. Daily stand-up meetings means at least 10 to 15 minutes you are going to discuss our development. All the people will be there. Developers will be there. Testers will be there. Business team will be there. So they'll interact there. So what they will discuss, like, yes, yesterday we have taken some task. What is the progress on that? Okay. So we have taken some task. So what is the progress on that? So is it done? Not yet done? Or yet to be done? Okay. So what you have done yesterday, what you are going to do today, what is tomorrow's, is any blockers that you are facing? Please explain in that meeting so that if the team can help you sort out the things, sorting out the things. And what your if work is done, what you are going to do tomorrow, that also you will be explaining or you will be interacting with the team so that you are sharing the work basically. Yeah, this user story is done, my testing is done. Okay, and I'm picking this particular user story and I'm writing so and so test cases. Okay, I'm taking test case writing and some tester 2 will write will execute those test cases. The tester 1 will write the test cases, tester 2 will execute those test cases. They will assign to the with their name. Like that they will plan what basically. So whatever the user story assigned to you, you will explain about that user story. Yes, I'm I'm writing that particular test case on that user story, and it is done, or it is in progress, or I'm facing some challenges over there. These all things you will discuss. If you don't understand, you can ask the team. Yes, at this point of time, I'm stucking. Can anybody can explain me, so that I can go and continue my work. So what they will say, you please interact with the developers, so that they will explain that functionality clearly, so that thereafter you can write somehow. So that interaction will be between your team. Okay, so that the daily standard, so that nowhere the work will get hanged. Okay, because our deadline is only 3 weeks. So by 3 weeks, that user stories, whatever we committed, we have to deliver it. So that way it should, that way it will go, right? So daily stand-up meetings for 10 to 15 minutes. It may prolong also, sometimes half an hour also, like that. Right, it depends. Like, so they need to sort out everything. Okay, is it going fine or not? And your manager or your, basically we call it as a scrum master, or he's a facilitator to the team. So he's the communicator between you and the client. Like he's exchanging the information, everything between the development team and the testing team and the client side people. So he will take care of it. So he will be monitoring the team, something like that. Okay, fine. Next, build a project around the motivated individuals and give them environment support, and they need and they trust them to get the job done. What is that? Build the projects around around motivated individuals, and give them the environment, and you give the support to them and trust them, so that in order to get the job done. So what does it mean means you are my team, you are a facilitator. Okay, I'm asking you to write some test cases on user story 1 and user story 2. I'm assigning each one of you one user story, and I ask you to write the test cases. And one story may take less time to finish. One story may take more time to finish, because one story may have only few test cases. One story may contain many test cases, 10, 15 like that. So now, if I'm assigning this work to you, then what should I say? So today I will give that work, and I will say that by tomorrow I want you to be complete, and it should be on my. And by the time we start the daily stand-up, the work should be done. I'm just giving an order like that. Can you able to complete it? If I ask you to do it in a day, 1 day, or like that. So just now I explained, or just now I told, and by tomorrow I want, I will say. Can you be able to do? No, right? We can. It is not possible. Even if it is possible, also, are you going to give the accurate results? Means test cases, whatever you wrote is correct. Hurry you are writing. Why? Because somebody is ordering you to finish it early. So if you are finishing early, what will happen? You may do mistakes, and that mistakes will be there in the documents. And if it is been approved, and the same mistakes you will do in the software, and that is quality software, we won't deliver it to the client, basically. So this all can one to one. It is related. So what I am telling, why if you are being forced to do that work, you will do it quickly, but the results will be incorrect, right? Whereas instead of like that, if I am asking you to, hello ma, these are the user stories I am assigning to you, right? So how long you take, how much time you need to work on that user story, can you tell me? And you will analyze that first, and after analysis you will update me, like, yes, it is Chari, it is going to take some 2 days time or 3 days time. So what I am doing now, okay, it is you are telling me 2 days time, no problem, you take 3 days, you report me after 3 days and give me the results. Now what I am doing now, you are telling 2 days, I'm trusting you, and I'm giving 3 days. I'm giving ample time to work on that, right? And now you tell me, are you going to give the best results or incorrect results? Now the output will be how, because we have we are the, we are giving such an environment and the support to the team so that we are trusting the team and to make the job done. So this way, if you go, you get the best results. Or the previous example I told, that way we get the best example. If I order and make the work done, will I get the uh, best results? Which one? The second part is the right? So we need to trust them first. We need to give an environment if they what you want. So in order to make that job done, if any support that you need from my end is anything, then that access wise, okay. In order to get access to any environment or such things, anything support you need from my end, you please do ask me. I will give support, and I'll make that promotion whatever I want you are expecting. I will be ready to give you. I support you. And this is the work we have, how much time you're going to take. Okay, take this enough time and make the work done. So this way, if you go, so our results will be more better, right? So that is what, build a projects around motivated individuals and give them such environment and support and trust them first. Even you are telling 2 days, oh, why 2 days, man? It can be finished in one day. You can finish it in half day, do it in half day. If I say like that, you will do it, but you will show you the incorrect results. Right? That kind of thing will not be entertained. Right? So we'll give environment, yes, we'll take enough time. Enough time means we'll go with like story points. We call here as story points. Like you take one story. I'll ask developer, hello developer, how much time you want to complete? Like in the grooming sessions, we can have a story points like while understanding that application or that user story. So developer will understand that user story and say, yes, for me it takes 2 days. At the same time, the tester also say, for me it will take one day to complete. So total how much? Average I will take. So overall 3 days for this user story we will plan. So that is fine. So that way we go. I'm not. We are self decision is not final here. We will take the uh, all the team members inputs. Based on that, we'll decide some timeline. Within the timeline, they are going to do that. So which is like estimation. Story points are nothing but estimations. Like for every user story, how much time it is going to take, we'll estimate them. How we are estimating? One person is not estimating. We are interacting with development team. We are asking them how much time. We are interacting with testing team. Yeah, how much time you want. So altogether, how much time can be fixed to that particular user story will be finalized. That way it goes. Got the point now? Next, who will read? Come on. I have seen only one or two people, three people. Next.
Yes, the most efficient and effective method of
Yeah,
conveying
go ahead.
information to and within a development team is face-to-face conversation.
Yes. Suppose, for example, yeah, for example, the customer gave you some user story, new user story, or some changes he told. Okay. But the changes how he is giving means he is conveying the changes or information to the team in the form of written way. Written way means some mail he wrote somewhere in the document or somewhere in the tool he wrote that these are the changes that we need. Somewhere he updated, somewhere he wrote like a comment, and you read that comment and you updated the software. So will it be the valid point? He wrote some comments and I want some changes, something like that. Based on that, you updated the software. And later, once after updating, when we demo to the client, they may not accept it. They may not accept it. So that is why. So sometimes what will happen if they are asking for any changes, instead of going like that, why don't we go with face-to-face conversation? Face-to-face means Again, I'm making it to confirm again, like, is it correct or not? You wrote something like something like some due to spelling mistake also we may misunderstand, right? You wrote some technically some you wrote some changes and you wrote in written only, but that in written is correct or not, we need to confirm from the client. So if you how we can confirm face to face interaction. So if you discuss with them, yes, this is what you asked. You asked to change for a button, or you ask a change for suppose in the uh, page, he's expecting some uh, drop down list. So the drop down list can be like a lookup field, or the drop down list can be a pick list value, or the drop down list can be a multi pick list value. So he just like he said, like I want a select box and something I can able to select the value, or I can able to select multiple values. More than one value means multi select pick list. Pick list means only you can select one value from the drop down list. Multi pick list means you can select more than one value from the drop down. Like we are selecting more two or three values from that drop from that list and adding to some. So selecting two or three values from list box is something like multi-pick list. And there is a pick list also. Only one value we can select. So there are some like this common different data types. So now something he wrote like I can able to select multiple values and something like he wrote in that. And developer understood like oh multiple value select a value means he will develop the select field. Maybe customer may not accept that select field because I told you to select multiple values, but you are giving me to select only one value from that list. No, this is not acceptable still. Then again you have to go and check. Instead of that, that whatever he wrote in written, we will have a face-to-face conversation. Hello, customer. This is what you have given. You said like we are. I need to select multiple values from that list box. You said. Is it a multi-pick list or is it only a pick list? Could you please confirm us? If I ask to the client directly, he will tell now, yes, I want that multi-pick list. I need to select two, three values from that list at a time. That way I want, he's telling. Okay, then we will understand. Then we will clarify, yes, it is a multi-pick list, not pick list. So this way, if we go interact with the client, then I can able to understand his requirement and we can follow and follow the next level. Otherwise, what will happen? You take so he writes something and you understand something and you develop something means it goes time waste. So instead of that, simply what we'll do, we'll interact face to face. That gives the best result. First he gave in written, okay, but that written confirmation we'll discuss and complete it. Like we'll discuss, we'll sit with them, our business team will sit with them, we'll understand, and yes, we'll confirm that exactly is it a pick list or multi-pick list. We'll come. Just I'm giving an example here. So like that, anything. So we'll confirm it and we'll close it. So that yes, client is also approving. Yes, this is what I want. Okay. Then we'll develop accordingly. So where we are saving time as well, right? So that is what most efficient and effective method of conveying information between your client team and the development team is to face-to-face conversation. Yes, sir. Documentations will be there, review will be there, and also approvals will be there. These all, but still we need to discuss with them directly, right? Or through face-to-face conversation, so that we'll get full clarity on that requirement. Yes, without any doubts, queries. We should not have any doubts. If you have, please disclose in front of them. This is what my understanding. And if they correct your mistake, yes, you correct it and you go for that, like that. Otherwise, what will happen? If you collect wrong requirement, the wrong delivery should be, and client may not accept it, right? So for that's why face-to-face interaction also is needed. That is one more thing as a part of it, right? Next, working software is a primary measure of progress. This is what like working software over comprehensive software. Yes, working software is a primary measure of progress. We more invest time in the testing. Like our testing team will invest more time in application, more focus, go and check the application than going through the test case document every time. Suppose you wrote 100 test cases, okay. When I'm validating, I know the functionality. Once I understand the functionality flow, why do I go again and read each and every step and test? If you read each and every step and test, it takes some time. Rather than that, what exactly client asked in that software, you go and check so that we can focus more functionalities at that. See that it is working fine or not. So that is what working software over comprehensive document. Every time we no need to read each and every page and test. So one time we read, you understood about that software. So focus on that software, not on the documentation. Documents will be there. We'll follow the documents, but more focus will be on the software which we need to deliver to the client. That is what the part. Next. What is the next? Agile process promote sustainability, sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, and users should be able to maintain the constant space indefinitely. Yes. So here all the development team, testing team, and all the will always they will interact with the client as I told, and they maintain constant pace in a sense. Like yes, here no senior, no junior, all are equal. Yeah, everybody should work for that project and product that whatever they are trying to deliver it to the client, right? So that way they go like all will like whichever the user story you are picking, you have to work on that, and you need to give the updates on that. Okay, like that. So the testers take their responsibilities, they go and work on that. The testing team, yeah, there is no particular lead. A lead will be there, maybe designations will be there, but our first priority is on that working software. Yeah, so we focus on that and we try to deliver our deliverables without any uh, like what you can say, any blockers. Okay, like next. Continuous and attention to the technical excellence and good design enhance agility. Yes, and not only that, and here in the development process, some are good at development, some are good at uh, suppose in our team, developer is there, tester is there. Okay, developer, suppose only one person is there who can able to develop that software, and other people can't. Suppose that person is not available, can other team member can handle it or not? They should able to handle it. That way it should go. If one team member is not coming or not available, the other team member should able to handle the work. That way the common understanding, that common thing, that means technically also everybody should good at. And it's not like dependency should not be. If you have dependency means, suppose the project is completely depending on one person. Suppose he's sick, he's not available, then how it goes? Completely hold? No, right? It should not go in that way, right? So there should not be any complete dependency, so that everybody should have some knowledge on that technically, so that even the person is not available, other person can pick that work and continue his work. That way it should, right? So that we can give the good deliverables. Right? Next. Still anyone is there to read?
Simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done, is essential.
Yes. Simplicity is the art of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential means it's simple. Suppose you wrote for this user stories, let's say we got all this sprint one. Let's say we have starting sprint one. In that sprint one, we have some 100 user stories, let's say overall. So we are supposed to execute by this Friday, tomorrow or day after tomorrow is a deadline. 2 days time we have. So I'm telling you to execute those test cases. So you started execution. So our deadline is 2 days only. Okay, we have less time. So how you'll report it? Suppose tomorrow morning we have a stand-up call and I'm asking, so how far it went? How many test cases you have executed? So you will say like, let's say the team is telling, we have executed 70 test cases. We have executed 70 test cases. You are telling. That means you are executed 70 test cases means are you great? No, right? So 70 test cases are passed. So don't think about pass. Think about which not executed because in that not executed, more defects I may get, and I may ask a developer to fix that problem, and it may what happens we don't know. So that we are worried about, right? But what 70% over means 70% pass happy, but in that 30% how many defects I will get I am worried about. That means the work which is not completed, that way there we need to focus. The work which is completed, okay, leave it. Anyhow done, pass is pass. But work which is not completed is more essential. Is that the art of simplicity is the art of maximizing amount of work not done is essential. So that is what the point is. So that means yes, whichever is completed, it is good. That is we don't worry about that. We worry only about the work which is not done. That way, if you go, you can say yes, this guy is serious about that, right? So, like, yes, so 30 or 10 test cases also, like, no problem. But we are more focusing on that because 90 is passed, but 10 which are failed, it may get failed. Right? We are just concerned about that. So that way, that makes that simplicity of. So you will say to the manager, or you will say to the product manager, or your lead. So what they will say, yes, sir, not sir, some Kiran or something like lead, Teja, I'm having still 10 test cases are left. So hope this will be completed by today. So this we are expecting, but not, completed 90 test cases. Are you getting any appreciation? Okay, good. I already know you are doing good job, but I want to focus more on the remaining part. So that way it goes like simplicity. Right. Next. Next, the best architecture requirements designs emerge from self or all. Yeah, we will maintain self-organizing teams. Like, yes, the testing team, yes, you QA team, yes, you just organize your team yourself and come out with best results. Development team, yes, they organize your team and come out with best results. Right. So that way, if we go like all, as I told, like there is no superior, no junior like that. All we are interacting. Right? We have a common understanding, and we are working for that software itself, and we deliver a quality application to the client. That is our agenda. So that way we go and so that we'll get the best result. Right. Next, who can read this next point?
At regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly.
Right. So this is nothing but what I can say is simply a retrospective meeting, I will say. What is this retrospective meeting means? Okay, what is this retrospective meeting means? Simple. One sprint is over. Okay, one sprint is completed. Like 3 weeks, I said, right? One sprint is 3 weeks. So 3 weeks work is done. We delivered, we gave a demo to the customer, whatever the user stories that they asked for sprint one, we deliver it to the client. We demo it, and the customer also happy. Fine. And we immediately, if coming week again, I should start second sprint, right? Yes. Before starting that second sprint, we'll have a meeting. All the developers, testers, designers, business analyst team, all these people will come and have a meeting. In this meeting, what they will discuss means, so sprint one is completed now. Okay. In the sprint one, do we need to, that means the sprint one went correctly, the 3 weeks we went correctly, or any deviations occurred during that sprint one completion, or any changes that we need to modify ourselves so that in the coming project we will implement it. That means you are tuning up yourself. Means did you went smoothly, or any deviations are occurring, or you need some any improvement in order to go for the next sprint. So that what I will do in the next sprint, these change, whatever I need to improve, I will correct it and I will go and do it in the sprint 2. I'll follow the changes. So that way, this retrospective meeting will be conducted, so that we went correctly in the last sprint. So fine. If it is correct, then same way we will follow in the second sprint. No, this there are some areas we need to correct it. So we'll correct it, and then in the second sprint we'll make sure that it will not happen. Okay, and some improvements. Yes, obviously, any changes required we'll adopt it, and there are those changes in the second sprint onwards will continue. So like that. So somewhere your timeline or something like documentation wise, or somewhere you are noting down instead of noting in Jira or some other tool, you are noting in Excel file. It is taking lot of time. It is consuming some lot of time. Something you are telling. So some changes that whatever we need, you are in giving your inputs. Like here we are facing such things. Here we are facing. Due to that, our work is getting delayed. Something you will give right output, your reasons. So these valid reasons will be collecting and we'll try to implement in the coming sprint. So that way we'll go basically. So that is what retrospective means: correcting or tuning up ourselves where we can correct adjustments wherever the adjustments are there. We need to do it, and we can implement for the coming sprint. So that is what retrospective meeting is. So did we went correctly? Or any deviations in the project? Or any improvements that we need to do? Right. So these things we will note it down as a points, and in the coming sprints we see that it is not happening. So that way, every sprint after every one sprint we'll have a meeting like that. And again in the second sprint completion also, again one meeting. See that in the last sprint what points we raised, that all corrected here or not. Corrected means okay, not corrected means in the coming sprint we have to implement like that. So make sure that those all are implemented so that it goes more smoothly. Our work would goes more smoothly without any interruptions like that. Are you getting this point, everybody? Agile, tomorrow I will start one Agile Scrum methodology, Scrum process. I will explain very clearly how the Scrum frameworks works. Like, okay, what are the roles in the Scrum? Okay, what are roles means like Scrum Master, Product Owner, what he will do, Product Owner, what he will do, Scrum Master, what he will do, and the team, what they are doing. Okay, and the terminologies like user story means what, epic means what, okay, how to write the user stories, okay, how to write the user stories, what is the format of the user story, okay. In this process, Scrum process, I will explain that complete framework in the tomorrow session. Is that okay, everybody? This is okay, clear, understood, no? Agile principles, everybody. Just try to understand like what are the principles that we are saying. And in the tomorrow session, that is very important. What is that? All how to write story, because in the tomorrow, once you interact with the client, maybe you may not interact. Our business team interact, and they will tell you the stories. And that story, if you understand, you can able to write some test case. Otherwise, not. So how to write the test cases? How to write that user stories first? Okay. So what is the acceptance criteria of the client? These all will collect that information. How to write that format and all tomorrow in that session. I will make you to understand clearly, so that you will be aware of this Scrum methodology also. Right. Then we'll go to the next level. As I told you, by end of this program, you will be able to write user stories, test cases, everything. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll share these notes and see you all tomorrow.